All right, so with Lab 11c, your best bet would be to look at the primitive shape. Like we have a rectangle here. It's 4 inches in height. It's 2.5 inches wide. And over here it's 1.5 inches in height, thickness, I should say. And then you can see there's a 45 degrees by 1 inch chamfer on the front face. So I would make that part first, and then put these fillets on. So like here, these 0.375 two places, so there and there. And you could probably shell it at that point and then put all the details in, which there's a lot of little details. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing because the intent of this one is for you to give it your best shot. Because in real world, as I always tell students, that basically you don't have a video to help you in many cases. So you have to kind of look at it strategy, building the primitive first. So let's see how this works. So 4 by 2.5. So go to New, Part, hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and the way that was drawn, the top view, that's what I'm going to go with to draw that rectangle. I could draw the side view profile too, I suppose, but either one is fine. So I'm going to go to the top view. I'm going to use center rectangle, drag this out, and let's go ahead and dimension that at 4 by 2.5. And now we could extrude that. And actually, what was that? 1.5. Right, and now on this front edge, you can select it, go to chamfer, and that's going to be 45 by 1. So just type in 1 inch here. Okay, so we have the primitive. Now we could go to fillet, 0.375, this edge here, and this edge here. Hit apply. And from here you could add that, well actually let's shell it. At this point I think we could shell it because the fillets, let's see, there are radiuses around here like 0.125 on the back. I guess we could put that one in. That way we'll get the sharp, or the nice rounded inner edge. Some of the other ones in the front I think are a bit smaller and aren't going to make as much of a difference. Now let's go ahead and shell it. Oh, you know, we should put these ones here too, I think. Let's see. Or we could wait. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm just going to go ahead and show you this. I'm going to select this face, go to shell, and we have to find out what the shell wall thickness is here. So the wall, let's see, we're looking for, oh, typical wall thickness is 60,000, so 0.06. And now you could go ahead and chisel away at it. Like you could select this face for putting in that rectangle that you see here. This is a rectangle. It's 2 inches. Well, actually, that's the offset. Let's do the, we could do that one. 2 inches wide by 0.914 in height. So let's go, and I'm going to draw a center line first. You don't really need that step, but I like to put it on so it doesn't waver. I don't want it on the midpoint. I don't think so, at least not yet. And then let's go ahead and make that 2. And there's like 0.913 or something, 0.914. And then see right here, it's 0.25 based off of that sharp edge there. So from here to here, 0.25, and there we go. All right, now there are fillets on there. So the radii, let's see here, 0.2. So we could use the sketch fillet, 0.2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now that gets cut. The depth here is 0.03. Let's hit apply there first. 0.03. Okay, and inside there goes another one, and it's just an offset. So you'd select that face, start a sketch. You could use offset entities or draw a new one in, chisel it out, draw a rib cut out here, cut through. The ribs, as far as this goes, I'll just show you really quick. I'm going to start a sketch here, and I believe it's center, if I'm correct. I might be wrong on that, but oh, actually, that's the cut. There's a little hole there that cuts through the center. What I'm looking for is this. So this is off center. Actually, it's 1.5 inches. So let's go back here. Let's delete that relationship. Just hit delete on that. We could put that hole in at any time, so we don't need to do that. So 1.5. And make sure it's centered. So this is where we could just draw a center line in to lock it in. And then make sure that that center line is vertical. Right. Oh, and then the diameter. I think it's like 0.25. All right, and this is where the detail gets really hard to see on here. So I don't blame you. I'm not going to be highly critical because with the fillets, it's very hard to see here. So it's 0.25 diameters with 2 degrees of draft, and it goes. The height is over here, 0.560. So you have to subtract the 60,000. So it just goes a ½ inch in height. So because that dimension's based off of the top of the part. So go here, extrude. 0.5, add 2 degrees of draft, and apply. Now there's a post on there, 0.125. We could put that on too. Select this face, start a sketch, and just center it, and it's going to be 0.125. And then the height for that is 0.125 again. So features, extrude boss. 0.125. And it's small enough in the molding process. We're not going to add draft right now for that. Select this face, start a sketch, and now for the ribs, you could infer in this direction. And then we're going to infer to this quadrant here. Now let's go to the bottom. There we go. And now you just put the ribs in. Notice I didn't put them on the floor, I put them up there. So features, rib. And now I'm not following on here, I don't think, the 60% rule for plastic design, if I'm correct. The rib wall thickness is 60,000, so I made it equal. Just note in real life, it would be actually, it'd have to be less than that, like around 0.37 or something like that. But we'll go ahead and we'll keep it according to the print. All right. And I believe at this point you could put the rest of the fillets in to cut out. I think most students could get past that point. All right, so that's as far as I'm going to go. I want you to do the rest and finish it yourself. Now there's the next lab. There it is. Okay, now this one is actually, believe it or not, easier. Again, it's just the same size 4 by 0.25 wide, and the thickness minus the lip that's there is 0.25 in height. So, new part, hit OK. Now you could build this top down. They fit inside each other. So theoretically, if you wanted to do top down modeling like we did with the pencil sharpener, you could do that, bring it into an assembly. I would actually be blown away if someone did that. I've never had in the, going on 19 years that I've been teaching this, never had anyone do that. So if you did do that, I'd be really impressed, because I've never really called it out to anyone to do it or try it. But in real world, I probably would do that. just because I wouldn't have to put all this stuff in. I could just steal the edges off that other part. All right, extrude, and that's 0.25 high. Hit apply, and then put those fillets in. So we have fillets that are called out 0.06 all the way around, and underside. Oh, 0.05 on the underside, so that's a little different. All right, so go to fillet, 0.06, get the 4 edges. We could have put these in as a sketch fillet. I just didn't feel like doing it. Hit apply, go to fillet, and then 0.05, the lower edge gets that. Treatment. Now you can go select this face, and I believe it's the same wall thickness, but let's verify that. So look for the typical wall thickness, 0.06. Yeah. Oh no, that's the, no, hold on a second. That is for the rib. Oh, typical wall is 100 thousandths on this one. Ah, good thing, check the print. So click on that shell 0.1, and now everything else you'll put in virtually the same way we did with the other part. So you kind of know the strategy for that one, but that will get you started with the next exercise. All right, and that concludes all I'm going to show you with those 2 labs. Do your best. Remember, they're worth 5 points apiece, so you know this is where it's good to learn to make mistakes. It's not going to be catastrophic to your grade. So just do the best you can. Send me any questions you might have, and I can hopefully help you out with that. All right, and that concludes this.